It's absurd how much I love Journey Spice. Journey Spice, non-GMO, no salt, no sugar, just all sorts of goodness and smart, environmentally friendly packaging. Pinch the top, take it off. Food tastes better. Comes in singles, 2-packs, and 4-packs. It's Journey Spice. Find them at Amazon.com. Time for Denver's best sports talk with the Altitude Daily.
This is the Altitude Daily Podcast. Everything you can't miss from today on Altitude Sports Radio. Moser, Lombardi, and Kane.
The CSU game is important because it feeds two people, the CU and the CSU fan. The CU game I understand. With Nebraska, I understand the history. I live the history of that rivalry. Yep. I get it. But they're in separate conferences now. The game is not as meaningful anymore. It just isn't. The CSU-CU game is not only meaningful, it's more meaningful than ever. That needs to stay. They need to find a way. And I don't want to hear CU fans saying, well, it's not worth it to us, blah, blah, blah. Yes, it is. It's very much worth it to you.
Well,
because guess what? The week of that game, we talk on these microphones, and everybody starts talking about the game more so than any other game on the schedule.
Do you think Rick George thinks that way? Or does he
I don't care what. Hey, listen, let me go on. I don't care what Rick George thinks.
What he says.
Okay, but
I don't care.
I'm asking,
if Rick George thinks that CU's too good for CSU, that's his opinion.
I don't know.
Prime time.
I don't know if he thinks they're too good, but I think college athletics now is all about making money, and he probably sees the Nebraska game as a bigger moneymaker.
And it is.
Sure.
It is.
But you asked which game.
No, I understand.
You're not asking us about money.
That's why I was asking
if
about
it's all
Rich.
bottom line stuff, then
That's what I was saying from Rick George's perspective. Like he said that about Nebraska, not CSU. I mean, CSU was right there on the table for him, too, to say, yeah, we should play them every year. He didn't. So his thought is probably if we play Nebraska, it's going to be primetime TV. It's maybe big noon kickoff for college game days there. That sort of thing is probably what he's thinking.
let me preface this by saying I'm a CU guy. I attended CU a year. My kids went to CU. My brothers CU, right? I can't stand it when you CU people get so arrogant about this subject. I'm watching the Twitch feed right now. Oh, CU's not good enough. CU's not. You don't get it. You don't. Who the hell do you think you are?
Yeah.
Do you think you're Alabama?
Yeah.
See, remember who you are. Remember who you are. Oh, okay, Prime's back. You're back in the national picture. So what? Who do you think? You're not challenging for a national championship this year. You're not in that category. Again, who do you think you are, CU? You're not too good for CSU. Never have been, never will be.
The Altitude Daily. The Morning Sprint.
Let's say the quiet part out loud. What's that reality actually mean? It means that Deion's time here at Colorado is very, very numbered unless you find a way to compete with $25 and $30 million freshman classes, unless you find a way to put a true cap system in or go to collective bargaining.
Now, here's the
thing. And make players employees.
Here's what I think. I do think there's a path forward for Coach Prime.
Oh, dude, I think those words are, unless we pay that money, or unless there's a cap where it enforces that Alabama and Ohio State and Michigan and all these schools can't spend more than me, I'm gone.
We're talking orthodox CU football in its traditional sense, in its traditional form, with a lack of a T. Boone Pickens, with a lack of a Phil Knight, with a lack of whatever the heck the billionaire's name is that just hangs out and shows up to Big 12 Media Day representing Texas Tech, and he's now just a spokesperson for college athletics, even though he's really the problem with college athletics. But I think there's a path forward for, if you're a CU Buff fan, and you want to say, you know what, I'm tired of this pipsqueak Alex Ryanemi telling me that the numbers or the days are numbered for Coach Prime at CU.
Just listen to what he says.
But here's the path forward. If Coach Prime chooses to accept it. What's different about CU football right now than it's ever been? Who could potentially be the human being that could galvanize a massive media financial cash cow that could fund $25 to $30 million in the roster. It's Coach Prime himself.
I mean, it's still that is a whole bunch to have on your back as Deion Sanders when it's not on the back of Ryan Day. It's not
but
on
Ryan Day's calling ball plays.
right.
Or has at least throughout his career.
But the pressure for him to bring in the money, the pressure for him to bring in the money, the pressure for him to bring in the media attention that would then bring in the money, that doesn't exist for Ryan Day.
Sign deals with massive media outlets. Sign mega deals that go directly, not to your coffers, but to the coffers of the CU NIL world. It's a possible way.
I'm not saying it's not it's very possible, but you're now asking a guy to take on more responsibility.
The Altitude Daily. Polumbus, Hastings, and DMac.
And I think that's where he became a fan favorite because he didn't play at all that first healthy season. And people were just clamoring, how about putting him in? You guys can't shoot, and this guy could shoot.
He said it was the bubble.
This is when he came through?
Mm-hmm. When he broke, that's where it was. That's where it happened. But he was very gracious towards Malone, Tim Conley, Josh and Stan Kroenke. I mean, everybody. Everybody. He was really nice towards everybody.
I'm going to be careful here because I don't want to sound critical of Michael Porter Jr. Because I'm grateful for the experience. I'm grateful for the memories. I'm grateful for a championship, and he was a huge part of it. But I do find it interesting. You know, I hear all these people complimenting him all the time for how often he apologizes for not stepping up to the plate, how often he apologizes for letting the team down, right? And I think it's a good thing to be self-aware, for sure. Don't get me wrong. But I also think it's a little bit revealing about his mindset. And I think at some point as an athlete, when you're stuck in that mode of apology, when I'm stuck in that mode of I've let the team down, when you're stuck in that mode of I got to acknowledge that I wasn't the man that they think I was going to be, I wasn't the player that they thought I was going to be, you start to believe that. And it sinks into your mentality. And I do think that although it's a very admirable trait that he's willing to step up to the plate and acknowledge these things, I also think it's a little bit revealing about what he has been going through mentally. And I think there has been a huge internal struggle for a long time of, am I the player that fans think I am when I'm bad, or am I the player when I'm good? And I'm not sure he's convinced of which player he really is.
Well, I don't think he'll ever, he said plateaued here. I think that's for his whole career, to be, in my opinion. And I hope he has great success in Brooklyn. But for me, it goes back to his health and that back. And I'll repeat, and what changed the corner for me, because I always thought he was just a soft player, didn't know how to play. Well, to be real honest with you.
Okay.
And I was talking to one of the coaches about that. He goes, Scott, it's a miracle he's even playing. The guys that have had the surgeries he's had and the drop foot on the left foot, these guys don't make it back. They don't play at any kind of level in football or basketball or anything else. And after that coach, and he said it so heartfelt, that he said, listen, it's a miracle he's playing.
The Altitude Daily. Kreckman and Lindahl.
I say when Porter comes back to the Western Conference, you just need to be a role player like you were on the Nuggets. And I think, like we saw with Mikko Rantanen, who I think is a very good player, but also has his flaws. But revenge is a hell of a drug. And when Mikko went up against the Avs, he was motivated as all hell. I think Porter would have a similar chip, and is going to have a similar chip on his shoulder here to start with Brooklyn. Certainly if he were to match up against the Nuggets in the playoffs. I do think, Nate.
There's a key difference, though.
Sure.
The Nuggets paid Mike. The Avs didn't want to pay Mikko.
They didn't want to pay him that next extension.
And so what I mean is exactly, the motivating factors of that chip are going to be a little bit different.
I do think Mike is surprised, though, even though, and he admitted in that video yesterday that he had sensed that changes could be coming.
Yeah.
if they didn't win this year.
Oh, he had been saying it dating back to last offseason of like, if we don't get it done now, I could very well be on the move. No, like in terms of like the revenge factor, I don't know if I can go all the way there with you. I will say where you have me is I think that Mike gets traded at least once before the end of this current contract. It could be at the deadline next year. You could absolutely be right about that, especially if he has a good first half of the season. If he looks healthy and looks good,
sure.
I could see Brooklyn doing that. Can I give you one other prediction on that trade?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's so what else was involved in that trade? The 2032 first-round pick, all right? It's 2025 right now. Here is my prediction. That 2032 first-round pick will be traded at minimum 3 more times between now and 2032.
Man, that thing's going to get passed around, huh?
That thing is going to move. And it's, what's funny about it is it's going to be valuable. It's valuable now because what is everybody going to say about that trade? Nikola Jokic at age 37. You're going to be able to do something with that draft pick. That could be a top 5 pick. That could be a number 1 overall pick in the NBA draft by then if the Nuggets fall off a cliff the way you would expect they would when Nikola Jokic is in his late 30s. Not guaranteed, but Spring, I have that thing is gonna see the world. Okay? Yeah. That thing is gonna be elf on a shelf around the NBA, and dudes are gonna move because of the value of that draft pick. I think it's going to reach mythical status. I'm saying that draft pick moves at least 3 times in the next 7 years.
You've been listening to the Altitude Daily. Catch us live weekdays on 92.5 FM, the Altitude Sports Radio app, twitch.tv/AltitudeSR, youtube.com/Altitude Sports Radio, and your favorite smart speaker. Say Altitude Sports Radio.